We were an average team all year. When you're an average team with high expectations, you're going to be disappointed. Connor McDavid speaking with the media following the end of the Oilers season. This, of course, went viral. If we refresh the page over here, we can see that Connor McDavid's commentary is at 300,000 views just a few hours after it was made. And, people are taking this well. Welcome to Toronto, Alessio Romano says. The front office failed him, the best player in the world, and they couldn't even get him a starting goalie. Come home, Davo. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Connor McDavid has any connections to the Detroit Red Wings. I mean, yeah, that's an idea, isn't it? We were average this series because you, Connor McDavid, got outscored 7-3 at 5v5 by a fourth line. Not because the depth wasn't there. The depth showed up. You, Bush, Ekholm, and the PK did not. Bruh, are we really seeing Oilers fans literally blaming Connor McDavid now for the loss? Oh boy. What depth? Clark asks. Hey man, a lot of guys who had good series that Bowman brought in. Kapanen, Podkolzin, Dickinson, Murphy. Ah yes, let's blame the best player in the world that scored 138 points and willed you into a playoff spot. Ay, that is definitely the right way to go about it, isn't it? But with that said, everybody is tossing their Connor McDavid hypothetical trades out there on the internet, and even the folks on NHL on TNT, featuring an extraordinarily handsome man in Henrik Lundqvist, Anson Carter, Ace, Biz Nasty, Paul Bissonnette. They went out there and spoke about the idea on whether or not Connor McDavid could be anywhere else besides Edmonton. Let's take a look at some of the comments on this Our Hockey thread. Top one says, I wonder what it's like to be Henrik Lundqvist, attractive, talented, sharply dressed, and eloquent. Like, the man has it all. Okay, we need to stop glazing Henrik Lundqvist. That's distracting us from the main topic of this video. All I'm saying, OK Vass said, is that if Connor McDavid can last through 2 Stanley Cup Finals losses, losing the gold medal game, and a first-round series that he was heavily favored in the span of like 2 years, then he is a stronger person than myself, because I would have either have to have been institutionalized or I'd become the Joker. Goodness, man. This guy is the unluckiest son of a gun in hockey at the moment. Not only did he just put up another Art Ross winning season with his 138 points, not even a career high, but it's his second best season. I mean, the guy went out there after back-to-back Stanley Cup final losses and a gold medal loss. Connor McDavid must be the most heartbroken man in hockey at the moment, and if anybody else were in his position, this guy would literally turn into Joaquin Phoenix and start dragging his fingers into the corners of his mouth to make a smile for all the kids at the hospital. That is crazy, man. It's why the thumbnail is the way it is. Pretty level-headed discussion. I can't imagine how unwatchable that would have been with the ESPN panel. Biz just said, screw Stan Bowman. McDavid put the Oilers on notice with his contract, and next year is one last ride. It's not going to be a full year. No way the Oilers GM will handcuff themselves into a last-minute deal, I think. The Oilers don't have any sort of leverage at all because Connor McDavid has a no move. McDavid will choose where he goes, and that makes the return for Edmonton worse. The best possible trade he could do for himself is choosing one promising, young, up-and-coming team with a good cap structure that he thinks can win now or in the very near future and ask for a trade there. That team wouldn't need to pay much at all, and plugging McDavid into a team like that makes them cup favorites automatically. Why do I have a bad feeling the up-and-coming young team is the Sharks? Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty cool. The idea of having Connor McDavid force his way over to play with his old pal, Macklin Celebrini, who, as we just mentioned, was the second most productive player on Team Canada behind Connor McDavid. This would certainly shake up the hockey world, but of course, thinking about it, if you just go onto Twitter and you just search up Connor McDavid, you'll just look at a whole bunch of trade ideas. He's going to play for the most random team of all time after his Oilers career. You've got a bunch of stuff here. Byfield for Hart is projecting the LA Kings as a possible destination. You've got McDavid mock trades out of the Habitant. People are talking about Gallagher and Newhook, Suzuki, Demidov, Hayes, Jarovsky. A lot of folks talking about the Montreal Canadiens. You've got McDavid and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Of course, you had that Red Wings conversation. I mean, this guy has been the NHL's poster boy for years. And maybe for the first time in multiple years, we are literally sitting here thinking about the possibility of him going. As if we weren't talking about that last summer, though, if I'm going to be real. Like, we did make a bunch of videos talking about Connor McDavid and, what's he going to sign for? If he doesn't sign right away, then the Oilers better trade him, because that 8-year deal he had signed post-ELC was expiring at the end of 2026. So there was a lot to dive into for Connor, and he ended up signing that 2-year deal. It starts next season. By the time the 2027 offseason begins and he's eligible for another extension, we will likely have our answer. Either Connor McDavid is fully gone, like this is no longer an Edmonton operation. It's going to be up to him, and it's going to be up to his own decision because, hey, he's got no move protection on that next contract. Then potentially this could be what does it for Connor and the Edmonton Oilers. Just take a look at it, man. This is a guy that has been the face of the league, the face of the franchise, and you couldn't surround him with the proper talent to help you win. This tweet by Jason Demers kind of sums it all up, hindsight being what it is. Man, Dylan Holloway, Philip Broberg, Ryan McLeod, those guys, they were it. McLeod is what? 3 years older than Savoy, and he's a -3 and has 1 assist in 5 games? Is he it over Savoy the rookie? I like Savoy a lot, but center depth is important. Can you believe Bob Stouffer spent 2 years trying to blame Holland for that when Holland wasn't even with the team when all those moves went down? Hindsight being what it is, Jason Demers was purely mediocre. Okay. We do not necessarily need to say that. Describe Connor McDavid's first-round performance with one word, point-per-game guy, but a -8. Best in the world? Yeah, right, Zero Dark Sports says. McFraud, checked out, waiting for that trade call from San Jose. Power play merchant, no longer McJesus, just McDavid. That's a tough way to dive into it, isn't it? With all that said, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is it the Canadiens, the Red Wings, the Sharks, the Maple Leafs? Who gets their hands on Connor McDavid next? And do they do this before or after he wins a Stanley Cup? Is he even going to win a Stanley Cup? Who knows? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this British Roll 99. And bye.